9 o'clock and we do have a packed schedule today, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome everyone to Back to Business with AI, presented by the AI Innovation Consortium. We are so excited to have you all joining us bright and early this Tuesday morning. We've got a lot planned and we're so excited you were able to jump on. To start with, we've got John here from GLI and Konrad of the AI Innovation Consortium. They're going to kick off today's presentation, so I will go ahead and let them get started. First off, we've got Konrad here, so I'm going to really quickly just stop sharing my screen, and Konrad, you can go ahead and introduce yourself, take over, and get going from there.
Sure. Thank you, Brianna. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I think we're going to have a few people trickling in here, so I'll take some time to do all the bookkeeping discussion, and hopefully by then everyone will be here. Let me just open my slide deck. So my name is Konrad Konarski. I am the chairman of the AI Innovation Consortium. I also am the practice head for AI and IoT for Vsoft. I've come to terms thinking about this keynote and how it may be different from other keynotes. First of all, it's my first virtual keynote, so that is a new experience. It's my first at-home haircut. But I think also a lot of the keynotes I did in the past were about sharing my corporation's accomplishments or sharing some information myself. And today, really, this is about everyone else. It's about all the university professors, all the think tank experts here today that are sharing their stories around artificial intelligence and back to business. But it's also about you, and I'll cover a little bit about that towards the end of this keynote. But I wanted to highlight that now here in terms of my own personal take on how I see this presentation. It's probably one of the easiest presentations I've had to do in terms of preparation. What we're going to cover in my keynote here are just basically some introductory summaries of the AI Innovation Consortium, because I'm sure some of you don't know much about the consortium. And I want to share with you both the current activities that we're doing, and you'll hear a lot about that today with our keynotes and with our presentations and our panel discussions, and also our forward-looking initiatives. And then I want to conclude by both passing it over to my colleague John from GLI, and also speak to you a little bit more about what you want to take away from this event today. I was told to insert a funny comic here, and of course these are all based on kind of context and how you introduce them. This is the funniest one I could find. Depending again on the context, I think here what we want to say is that AI is really a function of who designs it and who creates it and what you base it to do, right? So if you're building an artificial intelligence against a specification, against a need that isn't very intelligent, then ultimately you can build it very fast, but it won't be necessarily that smart. And of course, I have dry humor, as everyone knows. So here, that's part of the allure here for this comic. So an introduction for all of you around what the AI Consortium is about. We were founded in 2018 in collaboration with the University of Louisville. And it was kind of an informal discussion that took place to help align academia and industry. And last year, we hosted our first inaugural event in the University of Louisville with the help of several professors that collaborate with us there. And it was a great success. From there, we have taken leaps and bounds in our initial objectives. We set forth during that event 4 target pillars for our efforts. These 4 pillars are centered around data standards, research and development, and business strategy. The idea is that these 4 pillars really are intertwined. So, for example, you need data to be able to do research around artificial intelligence, to be able to build compelling AI solutions. And ultimately, these cutting-edge solutions that you build are intended to drive business value for specific types of organizations, specific verticals, specific application cases. And we have teams across these 4 pillars that have been working for the last 2 years on evolving and collaborating with other standards bodies to be able to create this foundation from which people can then, and organizations can then, adopt artificial intelligence successfully. Today we have 6 universities that are collaborating with us across the US, and I'll share with you a little bit about that. We have more than 10 Fortune 1000 companies, and we also have state and federal organizations. This, to me, is one of the key things that we were able to accomplish in the last 12 months. It's to stand up industry incubators intended on helping various vertical markets, various individuals or organizations interested in evolving artificial intelligence and deploying it, to have a platform to do that in a way that is mitigating the risk of evolving AI and allowing a collective think tank of our experts at the AI Innovation Consortium to provide that along with the universities. So we have one focused on industrial manufacturing, one on robotics, one on data analytics, and one on computer vision. This is the part where I would normally dive deep into a particular topic with you, but I will divert all these topics to our great group of speakers and panelists that will share with you a lot of what we're doing here. Another great thing about the accomplishments that we've done is the collaboration with academia. So we have more than 40 students working in various industry programs with us. Across the universities of Louisville, Penn State, LSU, University of Houston is something that we've just started. And of course, the collaboration with Greater Louisville Inc. To support the Greater Louisville communities and businesses. Today, you're actually going to hear from 2 of the students in our lunch panel discussion, Fuad from LSU and Nada from U of L, and as well, of course, John, who is going to be presenting the keynote with me. We also have a very diverse talent pool of thought leaders that sit on our advisory council and also collaborating organizations that are here today. This is just some of them that you see here. We host yearly events and now quarterly events. We have different AI workshops to support sharing the thought leadership, sharing the accomplishment. We also have academic papers that we're drafting with universities on the various things that we've been doing in our labs. This is something that for the first time today we'll be announcing, and so let me take some time to dive a little into this. We have set up now 3 new global chapters for the AI Innovation Consortium. One in Canada that will be centered on AI application for power generation and hydroelectricity, as well as for application in the finance and banking industry. One in Europe that will be centered around the automotive industry and the food processing industry. And then, of course, one in Asia that will focus on NLU, new language development. So basically, supporting new languages that are not traditionally part of language translation and chatbot technologies through a collective academia industry effort. Quantum computing in pharma and agriculture. So all these have a dimension to them that are geographically centric. And we're evolving the efforts with academia within those regions. So you'll be hearing announcements in the coming months around our partnerships with new academic institutions in these regions, our partnerships with industry in these regions, all collectively as a goal to be able to accomplish those 4 pillars and the overall mission of the consortium. We also have new upcoming collaborations in the university space. As I mentioned with the U of H, you'll hear from David Crawley later today around the work that he is doing and around the work that we are planning to do with the University of Houston, as well as University of Pittsburgh. We also have an announcement later today by Manoj, who's the director of the Labs division, in terms of our collaboration efforts with the Automation Lab. So without stealing his thunder, I want to leave that announcement to Manoj later on today. And of course, we are working both with GLI and other state and federal organizations in the space of workforce development. So we'll be building out some e-learning courses as well as additional workshops to help support both the growth of artificial intelligence learning tracks in academia and also in the workforce itself. And then last but not least, what you'll get a flavor of here today across the different presentations is some of which we'll talk about technologies like robotics and delivery bots and IoT technology and computer vision to support social distancing. All of those technologies collectively can provide an enhanced view of smart city or a city. And so we're looking to tie in those incubators that we've built across those universities to build programs that allow for smart cities to be deployed in a holistic manner, considering data standards, considering data repositories, considering IoT technology that can be deployed and scaled across different application cases, considering AI that can bring insights out of that data. And we found that we've kind of laid out some of the groundwork through our incubators and through our capabilities, and with the help of some large tier 1 IT companies, in the coming months, we'll be announcing some additional smart city initiatives. So back to my point about back to business and what this is really about. So I took this quote from our site. It's basically a direct description of our event, helping you and your company get back to work and leverage the power of AI. So what does that mean? So today you'll see people that will share with you how AI is applied to help support the health and safety of your workforce, help automate operations, and all these other important application cases, examples of case studies, and just basically stories that you'll hear about in our panel discussions. And then from, of course, John, you'll hear more about how AI will differentiate and it will help businesses locally in the greater Louisville area and will help communities. But this event is really about you, your community, your workforce, your company. So when you go into a particular presentation today, feel free to ask questions. No questions are incorrect, no questions are silly. Feel free to share stories now, and if you don't want to share them, reach out to one of the consortium representatives, reach out to the speakers and get to know more about this technology, because the purpose of us here today as the AI Innovation Consortium is to help drive artificial intelligence adoption and to make that transition into perhaps a leading or a bleeding edge area that is not always comfortable, that is sometimes challenged with bias that needs to be addressed, that is sometimes challenged with uncertainty, make that transition as easy as possible. So I want to hand this presentation over to John. John from GLI and AIIC, AI Innovation Consortium, have been working collaboratively for the past year in different shapes and forms to help share knowledge about AI, to help with workforce development around AI. And he'll share with you a little bit more about what GLI is doing within the community, and also the collaboration forward from now till the end of the year.
All right. Well, it is an honor to be with you today. I'd like to start off by just thanking Konrad, Brianna, and the entire AI Consortium team for inviting Greater Louisville, Inc., your regional chamber of commerce here in Greater Louisville, to be a partner of this year's event. It's efforts like this and experts like all of you that will continue to put us in a position to harness future opportunity. In my few minutes with you this morning, I want to quickly share a few thoughts from the perspective of an economic developer and not that of a tech or AI industry expert, which I am obviously not. I then want to quickly tie that to a few complementing functions at the Chamber as we aim to partner and position our region for long-term sustainable growth. I'll then close with a sneak peek of one of GLI's newest endeavors. Go on to the next slide, Brian. As you're all well aware, AI transcends industry sectors and is or will be deeply embedded into nearly every competitive operation of scale that we know. Greater Louisville's natural assets of geography and waterways have been leveraged for generations and are now complemented by a robust built environment, attractive quality of place, and key industry density that well positions our region for future growth. Our region's business sectors include business services, advanced manufacturing, logistics, e-commerce, food and beverage, and lifelong wellness and aging care. They are uniquely positioned to not only enhance their product and service offerings by leveraging AI and machine learning, but by driving these innovations within our industries. Louisville-based companies, large and small, are already doing this. Companies like Vsoft that are supporting the education, adoption, and integration of AI into a cross-sector of companies. Companies like Edge Analytics that are dramatically enhancing quality of care by utilizing predictive and prescriptive analytics to identify and reach healthcare consumers with evidence-based digital marketing strategies. It's AI and companies like these that facilitate productivity increases in partnership with key industries and drive growth opportunities across our region. Greater Louisville's workforce is transforming. Anyone with student-aged children would likely agree that an appreciation and an understanding of technology is nearly intuitive for forward generations. With technology-related positions now our region's fastest growing job class, it's imperative that we continue to support, partner, and invest in programs from elementary to post-secondary and beyond. A great example is the Louisville Future of Work initiative, a partnership with Louisville Metro Government and Microsoft that's offering free virtual-based training programs to residents in data analytics, digital marketing, software engineering, user experience, and design that are all vital to this transformation. These categories of jobs and many others in tech-related fields offer Greater Louisville's residents and their families increased economic opportunities. It's critical that we build and scale pipeline opportunities intentionally to ensure equitable access regardless of zip code or skin color. As home to more than 1.4 million people and over 58,000 businesses, our region has a lot to offer, no matter your neighborhood or lifestyle preference. We all know the talking points: big town feel and small town charm. In today's current environment, I want to frame this as another Greater Louisville advantage in terms of risk mitigation. Brian, you can go to the next slide. Whether faced with a pandemic or natural disaster or the next disruption, companies have a renewed appreciation for sustained operability. It is clear more today than ever that companies can model and companies can project, but companies can't predict the future. The Greater Louisville region has undeniable advantages to ensure companies can reach their customer, no matter what. In addition to leveraging a UPS WorldPort partnership that enables you to accept and receive overnight orders with advantage, we also sit within a day's drive of 2/3 of the US population. These factors, coupled with natural resources, riverways, and a sophisticated rail network, provide confidence and options to companies to minimize future operational disruptions. Our region's strong quality of place and livability translate to workforce safety and satisfaction. Our region is comprised of various counties, cities, towns, and neighborhoods, all with their own unique vibes and culture, but united by Metro Downtown and the natural regional landscape that we all enjoy. The attractiveness of our cultural and natural setting has a newfound appeal that we must embrace, continue to develop, and promote. We'll go to the next slide. As industry and community leaders, you are likely well aware of GLI's traditional chamber functions such as business connectivity, professional development, advocacy, and just having fun. But I want to take a few minutes to highlight a few functions that you may be less familiar with. One such is the Greater Louisville Regional Economic Development Partnership. This initiative focuses on business attraction and driving investment into our 15-county bi-state region by collectively marketing assets and our advantages. In coordination with county and state economic development officials, the regional partnership works directly with prospective companies and site consultants, providing research, data, referrals, community connections, real estate support, and site visit coordination. GLI's workforce and talent attraction retention efforts continue to focus on the region's fast-growing need for talent. Our team not only works directly to recruit and onboard area companies into JCPS Academy partnerships, but conducts sophisticated, data-informed, target marketing centered on attracting working-age degree tech talent into the market under GLI's Live and Lou brand. We work alongside industry to meet our region's growing talent needs and are eager to share more about how we can be a resource for you and your company. To ensure efforts are industry aligned, GLI currently has 2 affiliate industry councils, the Health Enterprise Network and the Advanced Manufacturing and Logistics Network. Both provide sector-specific opportunities for their members to network and engage on common industry opportunities and barriers. GLI is lucky to collaborate with network members as we work to promote key industries, locate investment, solve for workforce and talent issues, and advocate for a strong regional business environment. I ask you to look to GLI as a partner as we continue to take our region forward. Next slide. Many of you may recall GLI declared 2019 the Year of Tech, with a multitude of events and initiatives concentrating on the topic. One result was a group of industry leaders and professionals convening and recently developing a visioning report along with branding for GLI's soon-to-be newest network, Tech First. We are thankful for the group's time, energy, and expertise, but want to specifically thank Jason Clark of Via Studio for leading the creative process. The Tech First vision is that Greater Louisville is an expanding premier destination for tech-based and data-focused opportunities with its strong quality of life and professional pathways and diverse culture. Strategic objectives will center on economic development, ensuring Greater Louisville is a location of choice for tech-enabled innovative businesses. Density, ensuring Greater Louisville has multiple thriving innovation hubs throughout the region that inspire and support businesses, individuals, and local communities. Talent and education, ensuring Greater Louisville's tech economy has a robust learning community that develops, retains, and attracts talent. And culture, ensuring Greater Louisville's authentic culture is universally recognized as innovative and inclusive. We will look to publicly announce Tech First in the coming month, but wanted to share a preview with you today as we will need your insights and support as we take this vision to action. Next slide. And last, I want to just sincerely thank you for your time, your attention, and your efforts to position Greater Louisville for continued success. The inevitability of AI's role in our civilization's future, met with our region's natural and developed assets and advantages, gives me much optimism. On behalf of GLI, I thank you again, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the program.
All right, thank you so much, like Konrad mentioned earlier, feel free to reach out to any of our speakers today. Each presentation will include their contact information afterwards, and at the very end of the day, we'll have an AI Innovation Consortium email you can reach out to. If you weren't able to grab someone's contact info, you can reach out to the main email, and we can put you into contact with anybody that you might have missed during the presentation. Thank you, Konrad. Thank you, John. We'll see Konrad a little bit later. He'll be around quite a bit today, so thank you, John, for joining us.